My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekhar classes on applied data science with Python. This is lecture number 3. In this lecture, we will try to understand demand for data science, the required skill set for data scientist, Python specific editors. Now, we will try to understand one by one. The demand for qualified data scientists is rising. India will face a demand supply gap of 2 lakh data scientists over the next 3 years. Even in the US, only 40 positions can be filled out of 100 positions. This particular article I collected from Times of India in recent edition. Now, we will try to understand a required skill set for a data scientist. The important or crucial skill set a data scientist need is mathematics expertise. You need to have knowledge of mathematics. Next, you need to have knowledge of technology, that is hacking skills. In this context, hacking skills means if the data is given, you must know how to use that data to get more information. The next skill is business and strategy acumen. You should have the knowledge of business and you need to have strategy acumen. Here, acumen means the ability to make good judgments and to take quick decisions. These 3 skills means mathematics, technology and business. These 3 skills are required for a good data scientist. It is very difficult to find a person with these 3 skills. That's why availability of good data scientist is very difficult. So what you have to means, how can I say? Because somebody may be very good at mathematics. They may not have knowledge in business, isn't it? Some people may very good at technology, but they may not good at mathematics or business and strategy acumen. We need to have combination of all these skills. In order to address this problem, better to formulate a data science team in which you can have members from domain knowledge, CSC department means computer science experts, and faculty or experts from mathematics. Yes, so that that team, if they work together, certainly they can do miracles. Anyway, let me proceed further. These are some Python specific editors: Spider, PyCharm, Jupyter, Thonny. These are specific editors which are developed for the purpose of Python. Spider and PyCharm, these two ones, Spider and PyCharm dedicatedly use Python. Jupyter provides you, JU means Julia, PY means Python, R means R programming language. I discussed about R programming language in my previous lecture. Means it provides, Jupyter provides, JU means Julia, PY means Python, R means R programming language. Even it provides Scala recently, isn't it? Just go through the documentation of Jupyter, there you can find. Anyway, I will not discuss about this Thonny, just for the sake of information, to inform you that Thonny is also one Python specific editor. I have shown this particular name here, but in reality I will not discuss about this in about Thorny, isn't it? Yes. Let us look at first IDE for Python, which is Spyder. Anaconda setup consists of lot of IDEs. They provide Jupyter, Spyder, or it comes under one roof, so it's more easier to work. Now if you look at the interface of Spyder, its interface is very similar to MATLAB and R. It supports, Spyder supports Linux, Mac, Windows platforms. It is available as an open source. It can be installed separately, or you can make use it through Anaconda distribution. Developed for Python, I already explained, it is a Python specific editor, and you can make use for solving data science problems. It has features like code editor, just you can read, you can understand. There is simple language, it's having debugging facilities. I already discussed its interface is just similar to MATLAB and RStudio. This is simple language, just read it once. Yes, this is the interface of what? Interface of Spyder. If you work with RStudio, just you can find similar interface. Even in MATLAB also we can see similar interface, but I may not use this particular interface or this particular editor. We will try to make use Jupyter notebooks. Next one. Now let's look at PyCharm. PyCharm is support across Linux, Mac, Windows platforms. It's what can I say? Available as community, free open source, professional paid version. Support only Python. This point also I discussed. It can be installed separately or through Anaconda distribution. It has got some features: code editor, code navigators, unit testing, debugging, version control. Yes, actually this is one important feature. This class may not permit me to discuss about version control, but it is super useful. I will keep a YouTube link so that if you have some doubt on version control, in comment section I will keep a YouTube link. Just go through it. They explain in simple manner. Anybody can understand this, what is version control, but it is super useful feature. This is the environment. Just see this is the environment of PyCharm. It is more suited for those who are from development platform. Its environment and interface is little bit complex to understand. The next one, I can say next or last IDE is Jupyter Notebook. We will try to discuss about this Jupyter Notebook in future classes. We will try to work with this particular IDE, with particular editor, isn't it? This is, I can say this is last IDE in our discussion. Look into its Jupyter Notebook. This is very different from other two IDEs, that is Spyder and Python. Jupyter Notebook is a web application that allows creation and manipulation of documents called notebook. I will discuss these points. It supports different operating systems: Linux, Mac, Windows. Available as open source, bundled with Anaconda distribution, or can be installed separately. Supports, yes, that's what we were saying, isn't it? JU means what? Julia. Yes, PY means what? Python. This R means R programming language. Even it supports Scala also. That's why they named it, isn't it? Jupyter. That's what it says. It consists of ordered collection of input-output cells. I will discuss about what is input-output cells. We will work with this particular editor so extensively. I already discussed this point. Jupyter stands for Julia, Python, and R, but it also supports Scala now. That's what it says. We are repeatedly saying same point. Of course, it's important. Allows sharing of code, narrative text through output formats like PDF and HTML. This also we will discuss in next coming lectures. There are different IDEs. how to choose the best IDE. It's purely your requirement. Just according to requirement, just choose IDE. Working with the different IDEs helps us understand our own requirements. There is nothing like good IDE and bad IDE. Every IDE is different in nature and it's all based on your requirements. If you are comfortable, if you are already working with some a particular IDE, just continue to work with that IDE. You need not change. But we will try to in this series of lectures. I will try to make use Jupyter. This is a small snippet which is taken from website of jupyter.org. uh, why Jupyter Notebook? Why are we using? Why we will use? What's the reason? Edit code on web browser. It has facility in this particular IDE or in this particular IDE or notebook, or I can say in this one, documentation is easy to demonstrate. It is user friendly interface. I feel it is comfortable. Therefore, I will make use this particular IDE. Again, I am saying if you are comfortable with some other IDE, just continue. It will not make much difference. Thank you very much.